Everything you have been taught about women is a lie. If you ever asked yourself why she ghosted your ass, why she lost interest in you, or why she stopped respecting you even though you did everything right, then you are precisely in the right place. What I'm about to show you will blow your mind. This is not theory. This is unvarnished, unpleasant reality with its roots in psychology and biology of survival instincts. Say the truth if you are prepared to expose the facts under attraction and ensure to see this video till the finish. You'll never date the same way again. Too many men spend their lives pursuing, trying their hardest to impress, giving themselves away just to keep a woman interested and discover nothing they do makes a difference. They attempt to be the nice guy, the provider, the man who is always available when she needs him, yet she ditches them for the guy who appears to care less. But it really hurts to watch you disregard everything you've given your life to as if it was worthless. But what I'm here to tell you is, it wasn't your effort that was the problem. It was your understanding of female psychology. You've been lied to by society about what women want and paid the price. This video is addressed to men who are ready to wake up. You may want to leave now if you aren't ready for brutal honesty. Those who are staying understand this. After watching this video, your entire perspective on dating and relationships will never be the same again. They need to feel protected. Number 1. The independence of a woman does not erase a clean few million years of biology. Modern life values independence, but her subconscious still cries out for protection. Not only physical protection, but emotional stability, financial security, and psychological safety. Protection, what it means to men in today's world. It's not about standing outside her door holding a bat. It's about making a life in which she sees her existence, cries and feels comfortable being vulnerable because she knows you won't disintegrate when she unleashes her pain. Women's emotional blizzards are not a test of your ability to pacify her. They're a test of your ability to stay grounded. If you flub that test, you don't lose her respect gradually. You lose it instantly. When she cries, do you get panicked or do you become her calm? When she tells you her doubts, do you dismiss them or do you reassure her that her world will not fall apart on your watch? Most men think that she should be listened to and that they should share where they've hurt because this is what she wants to talk about. What she needs to feel is your emotional shield, not your emotional mirror. When she says, "I feel like the world is crumbling," your response isn't to reply, "I hear you, I'm feeling it too." Your role is to say, "I've got you." A man that can ground you is intoxicating because it is in short supply in today's world of embattled boys. Men believe they lose a woman in their lives because they are not good enough, when in reality they lose her because they are not reliable enough. She's not asking you to fix all her problems, but she wants you to be the rock she can't move. A woman needs the sense that, regardless of the storm she's going through, her man isn't. That's the guy she doesn't leave. And while other men may crumble from her tests, you remain steadfast, unfazed. That's when she feels safe. And when she is safe, she offers her vulnerability and respect. She is not going to test you on purpose, but her instincts will cause her to. She will poke, she will prod, and if you won't break, she will love you for it. Women give up the men who are too nice. It's because nice is not synonymous with safe. Nice is permissive, passive, agreeable, but not directive. A nice man will listen to her issues, but not have the fortitude to step up when life requires it. Women don't leave nice men because they're nice. They leave because niceness without strength is a void. A man can be nice and still have spine. She has to know you won't compromise your values for her momentary happiness. That sweet and cute things may woo women, but they respect boundaries. A man who knows how to say no with conviction is much more appealing than one who says yes to everything, even when it begins to threaten his integrity, If she's complaining about her job or her insecurities, hear her out, but don't fly off the handle. Do not be her emotional sponge. Let her know she's dealing with a man who can compartmentalize and doesn't wallow in the negativity. This is why Stoic men are so desirable. A woman is constantly looking for reassurance, and her attraction deepens when she knows her man won't lose himself in the midst of her emotional neediness. When you see her freaking out, you don't freak out. You don't get defensive when she's upset. You are the solid, cool, and collected to it all. That's power, and that power allows her to feel safe in a way that flowers and compliments never can. Weak men hold the misguided belief that he must fix her every time she gets emotional. The fact is, she doesn't always need a solution. She needs to feel your calm presence. She has to know that even when she breaks apart, you won't. This is not about fixing her problems. This is about being the man who can be steady while the woman processes her emotions. You see, when you master this, she will miss you because being with you is a breath of fresh air, and she will respect you for the fact that you don't let her emotions affect your decisions, and she will trust you because she knows you will not walk away when she herself is vulnerable. Modern men have long been encouraged to express their feelings without reservation, to openly weep, to display vulnerability at all times. But there is a difference between being vulnerable and being weak. Vulnerability is speaking your truth when it matters. Weakness is being out of control his emotions. She can't help but lose attraction whenever she sees weakness. It's not so much a decision, it's just instinct kicking in for survival. Women need protection because, biologically, their survival hinged on finding a man who could steer one through chaos rather than into it. If you can't control your emotions, how can she trust that you can control hers? Stop being the man who tries to win her approval by complying with her emotional whims. Be the crash pad she can't hit the ground without, and go to war with whoever comes after her. Be in command of your emotions so you protect hers. Number 2, they are disarmed by confidence. Women are born to bow to men, not the authority gold, but the power authority of life. Your confidence is the ultimate god, making women notice you every minute. It's the way you walk into a room, the way you carry yourself, the way you respond to obstacles without revealing weakness. Confidence is a scarce commodity, as nearly all men are governed by insecurity. They ruminate about their text messages, over-apologize when they have done nothing wrong, and constantly seek approval to feel worthy. Inability to provide any comfort or confidence. You hear it in the way you hesitate, in the way you over-explain yourself, in the way you fidget under pressure. Confidence is the lack of that doubt. Confidence is not arrogance. It is certainty. Arrogant man get attention, confident man gets the attention. Women can see when a guy is trying too hard. They recognize it in the manner in which he boasts, name drops, or seeks praise. But the man who needs no validating, he's irresistible. To have confidence is to walk into a conversation feeling that you do not have to prove yourself, that your worth speaks for itself. Men who know their own worth are simply irresistibly attractive to women. Not compensating, because you know you are enough, is what makes you shine. Confident guys don't fall apart when she tests him. The nature of women is to test men, not with the intent to crush them, but with the hope of seeing if he will be able to withstand the heat. She may go out of her way to disagree with you, take a long time to respond to your texts, or drop other men's names in conversation to see how you react. The test is how you react to that moment. If you become defensive or needy, you fail the test. But if you are unmoved, you've shown you are the sort of man not to bend when the heat is on. That's what disarms her. That's what wins her respect. Way too many men out there believe confidence comes from the outside. How much money you have, how good-looking you are, your status. But the reality is that confidence is born from internal mastery. Once you master yourself, nothing else matters. Women don't desire the car you drive. They desire the man who knows that you don't need that car to impress anyone. When you don't need her approval, you're not trying to earn her attention. She's trying to earn yours. Consider this. Women pursue men who do not need them. That's the paradox of attraction. The more you prove to her that you could take her or leave her, the more she wants you. It is so being able to walk away from a woman without begging her to stay. When she can tell that you won't grovel to keep her, your attraction quotient skyrockets. Begging is for weak men. Attracting is for confident men. Confidence does not happen overnight. It happens with discipline. Set goals and achieve them. Every small win in a gym, at work, or at a personal life reminds you that you're worth something. A man who knows he can overcome any difficulty is an unshakable creature, and when a woman observes an unshakable man, she is attracted to him. Why? Because confidence is evidence that you can handle life, and if you can handle life, you can handle her. That's the man she respects. That's the man she chases. 3. Ambition kindles attraction. Ambition isn't a luxury. It's not a nice-to-have trait for women. Ambition is non-negotiable. If you're an unambitious man, you don't exist where her instincts are concerned. Now, modern society might say women don't give a shit about a man's drive, or love will find a way no matter what you achieve. But biologically, that is not how she makes decisions. At her core, she is designed to choose a man who is going somewhere in life, who is moving forward, who doesn't settle for mediocre. Stagnation is the leading attraction killer, and most men don't notice until they see her walking away. Ambition is not only about pursuing money or career success, but rather your motivation in terms of improving in every area of your life. Are you showing progress with your body, or have you got out of shape? Are you learning new skills, or are you spending hours on your phone? Sure, you're taking risks to upgrade your life, or you are playing it safe and minding mediocrity. She notices all of these things if she never says. Ambition is one of the most powerful signals she sends to her subconscious. This man will build a better life. You know, women leave men not because men are bad people, but because men are stuck. She might have a lot of love for you, but when she sees you stagnating, her instincts for survival will kick in and she will withdraw from you. A woman's attraction to ambition is closely linked to her need for security. If you keep evolving, she thinks, you're creating a future she can be in. But if you're going nowhere, she'll start to wonder if she's investing in a sinking ship. It's not personal. It's biological. She will wait for a man she believes is becoming everything he can be, but she will turn her back on a man who has given up on himself. In those cases, when you hear of a woman leaving a good man for a better man, it's not always the man is better in the sense of stability or outward appearance. It's about progression. A man who is always hungry for more and leveling up makes her feel safe because he won't let life put him on the ground. On the other hand, a man who's complacent is sending a red flag to her subconscious. She's not thinking, oh, he's lazy. She's thinking, this man is not going to protect me and our potential family long run. This is fundamental. Men that misinterpret think that women are shallow, but it is not shallowness but survival techniques. The feminine attraction to ambition is as ancient as the masculine attraction to beauty. Just as you cannot help but be attracted to a feminine, beautiful woman, she cannot help herself but be attracted to a working man. It's in her DNA. The worst thing men do is confuse ambition with hitting some huge milestone before they're worth her time. They feel they must be millionaires or CEOs, but ambition isn't about the destination. It's about the journey. She will feel drawn to you as a man who is always striving, always growing, and will never settle for anything less. The littlest display of seeking more, waking 30 minutes earlier to hit, and hopefully leave the gym, learning a new skill, Putting in some OT to stabilize your finances inspires her respect. She loves and respects you for being the ambitious person. Women don't fall in love with men. They fall in love with their potential. Anyone who can paint a picture of a better world and then convince me he's the one who can build it is going to be one of a kind. Ambition is something that shows her, hey, you're not just planning for today, but you're also planning for the future in which you can be safe and taken care of. This doesn't require you to control her life, but it does mean she believes investing in you is a long-term commitment. On the other side, no ambition is the fastest killer of attraction there is. It's why you see lots of stories about women who leave long-term men. Just as she may not be able to clearly explain it, once she can feel you're comfortable in the okay, her instincts will kick in and push her in the opposite direction. It's not that she's ungrateful, she's hardwired to search for the best mate for survival. Women evolved in a world where a man's ambition was a question of life or death. Today, that ambition might manifest in professional success, personal growth, or leadership, but the primitive impulse is unchanged. You don't have to be at the top yet. You just have to be ascending. The man that's always that moving forward, albeit stumbling along the way, is always going to be more attractive than the man that's standing still. Progress is the difference between attraction and stagnation, no matter how small that progress is. Every time you take one step forward, it sends a signal to her subconscious that you're a guy worth following. The ambitious man is the kind of man who knows how to take failure and spin it into fuel and turn setbacks into a stepping stone. That's the man she bets on. Number 4, their desire is powered by emotion. Women don't fall for logic. They don't care how reasonable your arguments might be or how good you look on paper. In her mind, attraction isn't calculated, it's ignited in her emotions. This is the cold, hard fact that the bulk of men can't understand. You could be a stable guy with a stable job who is nice and has a 5-year plan. But if you don't make her feel something, you're invisible. She won't tell you this directly because she probably doesn't quite understand it herself. All she knows is she's attracted to the man who moves her soul. This is how the nice guy loses to the bad boy. It is not that women want to be abused, but because the bad boy exploits her emotions. He's wild, he's crazy, he's a handful. Women need being rehabilitated to a Bethaher. The guy that emotionally draws her in and leaves her feeling without being toxic wins her attention every time. You need not be an arsehole, but you definitely need to get emotional spikes. She'll get bored of you if you're too predictable. Women do not crave monotony. They require adventure. The big problem is that a lot of men kill attraction by being too accommodating, super available, and they try to please every need she has. But that is not how attraction works. People these days, men and women alike, in a relationship respect others to have boundaries and not overinvest. If you are always at her beck and call, she will subconsciously view you as less valuable. The reason is simple. Because when something is too readily available, it loses its value. Consider this. When she knows that you're always around, we'll text her back in a blink of an eye, stop whatever you're doing to be with her. She won't appreciate that. Generating emotional spikes does not mean being a drama queen or a constant troublemaker. It means finding a happy medium between excitement and stability. Arrange surprise outings, banter with her in a way she'll find charming and be a little enigmatic, but not overly so. Not to keep her in constant chaos, but to keep her emotional connection to you alive. Women start getting bored if their emotional needs are not being fulfilled, which leads to dissatisfaction. Men who know female psychology know to recreate that fine line between tension and comfort. They can tell when to push her buttons and when to comfort her. They understand that attraction is about playing with polarity, about keeping her attracted but not making her feel smothered. The error most men make is overcorrecting toward one end. Things either get too predictable, draining the fun, or they get too unpredictable, adding an unwarranted anxiety. The sweet spot is to have her guessing, but also provide her with some safety. Women are attracted to men who know how to touch their emotions. That's not to say you should try and manipulate her or play games. It means you have to remember that it is feelings that spark her attraction, not rationality. So even if you are the perfect man on paper, if she doesn't feel the attraction, well then, this is where you end up, stuck in the friend zone or worse, getting ignored. This is why you sometimes read about women working with men who are not conventionally don't make the hotties Kardashian friends, successful, but know how to keep a chick hooked emotionally. The key is not about being the bad boy or the nice guy. It's about being the man who knows just what the balance is between excitement and security. When you are someone who lights her on fire while feeding her need for stability, you become that guy that every girl wishes to be with. It's not about perfection, it's about passion. Men who can achieve this balance don't only get women, they maintain them. The fifth one is hypergamy drives their choices. Hypergamy is a word that elicits a lot of emotion in a man once the true depths of its impact on female behavior hits home. It is an evolutionary instinct for women to pursue the highest value male available to her. This is not a theory. It is an evolutionary reality. For centuries, a woman's very existence hinged on choosing a partner who would provide safety, security, and resources. And though society has evolved, her instincts haven't. While modern dating may unfold in cafes, clubs, or dating apps, her subconscious is still dutifully playing the same survival game it has for thousands of years. What you have currently, however, is not okay. And you know that you have current cash flow. Those are the traits that hypergamy has taught her to look for. If you're building, working, and making progress, she'll stick around because you are progress. But once she feels trapped, her instincts will inform her that you are no longer a safe bet. It doesn't make her a bad person, it makes her human. Female psychology says that women are hardwired to seek to keep their children alive, often at the cost of doing what looks brutal to the male viewpoint. The subject of hypergamy is generally one of those bitter pills most men cannot swallow. Your enemy is the very hypergamy that fuels your success. A man who is consistently improving will always be needed. Once you know that her instincts are wired to respond to progress, you do not blame women for how they act. You take responsibility for your evolution. Rather than whining that women only want high-value men, you become the high-value man she simply can't say no to. The one who suffers from hypergamy the most is the stagnating man. They assume that once they have the girl that the work is done, but that's when the serious work starts. Women aren't attracted to the man who won her over. She's attracted to the man who continues to win her over. If you're thinking you can just ride on what you've accomplished historically, you're going to fail. Whatever this stranger was, ambitious, driven, exciting, you will be quizzed in, and if you've lost your edge, she'll pick it up, and not wait for you to worry she'll find it somewhere else. This hypergamous nature is what makes women leave a perfectly good man for a man they think has more value. It's not about loyalty, it's about survival. A man who knows this doesn't rage. He reacts. He understands that his ambition, work ethic, and progress are what maintain her investment, both emotional and physical. He understands that a woman's love is not given freely, that it's dependent on his ability to lead and protect and provide. And don't you dare think this is oppressive of me. A man's love isn't unconditional either. Just like men are wired to chase beauty and fertility, women are wired to chase progress and security in men. To be the ultimate king, you have to master hypergamy, which means bettering yourself continuously, not for her, but for yourself. The irony is, when you concentrate on being the best version of yourself, women are drawn to you like moths to a flame. Hypergamy incentivizes men to postpone settling down. It punishes men who do not desire just that. The man who continuously evolves will forever be the man she fears losing, and that fear is enough to keep her loyal. But if you provide her nothing to lose, she will sooner or later discover someone or something better. Number 6. Attention is their Achilles heel. Attention is the currency of contemporary dating, and women in this regard have a surplus. Scroll through social media and dating apps where validation is just a click away, and you'll find that women now get compliments, likes, and messages every single day. But here's the rub. The easier it is for her to get attention, the less valuable that attention becomes. Women need meaningful attention, not an unending flood of compliments from strangers. The guy that gets this doesn't hand out his time easily. He makes her earn his time, and that is what makes him different. But in fact, most men believe giving a woman 24-hour attention will make her like them even more. If you're always available, always texting, always liking her photos, you cease to register. They take your attention for granted because there is no scarcity, and scarcity is what creates value. If everybody has access to something, it has no value. Women want attention, but they want attention that feels exclusive, intentional, and earned. Meaningful attention the man gives creates emotional bond between him and her. He doesn't bombard her with compliments every minute or comment on everything she posts. Rather, he focuses on the details that make a difference. He sees things about her that others overlook, and when he compliments her, it is sincere and infrequent. That means his attention is valuable because it is not freely offered. She understands it has to be earned, and that effort generates attraction. Women respond to men who deny them attention. It demonstrates high value. When you aren't spending your time and energy on just anyone, she knows that being the center of your universe is a privilege, not a right. A man with a keen sense of this does not chase after a woman who has no interest in him. They have standards, and they only invest attention into women who show real effort and intention. This establishes a dynamic in which she wants to win you over, not the other way around. And while women can get attention on demand via the tools of modern dating, almost all that attention is vapid and devoid of significance. The man who shines is the man who realizes when to hold back and when to give. He doesn't ignore her or play hard to get. He just knows that too much exposure kills attraction. If you are always in her face saying good morning and good night, she will start to think very predictably of you. But if you build some mystery and keep her on her toes, she'll hang in there. Attention is also related to respect. Women are drawn to men that command respect through wisdom and patience. Being too available signals that you're not doing much with your life. But when you show selectivity with your attention, you communicate to her that you have priorities, goals, and standards. This makes her view you as a valuable man because your time is valuable. The guy who knows how to give her the right amount of attention to keep her coming over while being independent. That is the dude that she is going to chase after. You don't want to be the guy always waiting for her to send a message and checking if she's read it. Be the man who is so focused on his mission that she is left wondering when she will hear from you again. It's that anticipation that keeps her in the game. You'll be someone she can't predict or control, and so she'll begin to crave your attention. It turns into a reward, and humans are hardwired to crave what they can't easily obtain. Attention in just the right doses is addictive, but overdose or premature attention is suffocating. The idea is to find that tightrope where she feels important, but not overwhelmed. And if you keep her on her toes, she'll think about you long after your conversations are over. That's the quickest path to making a strong connection. Number 7. They are drawn to men who are leaders. Women desire leadership in a man because it represents competence, direction, and stability. A man who knows how to lead is not just appealing, he's alluring. By leadership, we mean not to control her or the relationship, but to know how to decide what with confidence and without any hesitation. Women don't want to have to lead the relationship. They don't want to be the one who makes all the decisions or the one who decides what to do. Her female makeup is driven to want a man who can lead without asking himself twice. Men sensibly assume that if they just agree with her choices at every turn, they're being respectful. Only we're not, men. We're being indecisive and weak. When a woman can come to feel that she needs to step up all the time, she starts to lose respect for the man in her life. A woman wants to feel like she can be comfortable around you because you have things together. The second she thinks she's the one responsible for holding the relationship together, she will resent you. That resentment is fatal to attraction, so leadership is about creating an environment in which she feels safe. When you're decisive, she feels safe because she knows you're up to the challenges. But when you're so busy asking, "What do you want to do?" or "Where should we go?" you have placed the responsibility for leadership squarely on her shoulders, and it is dragging her down. She may put up with it for a while, but her instincts will eventually lead her to a man who knows how to lead. The man at the top knows how to set the tone. He initiates dates proactively without waiting for her to say so. He has to avoid overthinking decisions. He's responsible for his life, and he expects her to be responsible for hers. This is not about dictatorialism. It is about having a vision like a man. When you lead with purpose, she never has to wonder what you are doing. She can unwind, feel safe, and allow her feminine energy to surge. Envision leadership as cultivating a sense of direction. Women love they men to have a direction. If you're just kind of wandering around, she won't feel safe latching on to you. But for you who has goals, purpose, and a decisiveness in action, she'll be attracted. When security is provided, women are attracted to leaders naturally. In her mind, a leader is someone who will rescue her from uncertainty and offer her a safe, stable path going forward. Leadership also means boundaries. Hybrid paradigm man is the one who never compromises with disloyalty, disrespect, and discourteous behavior. He doesn't have to yell. He doesn't have to demand respect. He commands it with his presence. You teach her how to treat you when you set boundaries. Too many men are afraid to draw boundaries because they're afraid of losing her. But the reality is, boundaries are what elicit her respect. When you know that you'll move on, even if she treats you with disrespect, she'll pursue you. The common error many men fall into is equating leadership with control. Leading is not about dominating her, it's about leading the dynamic with strength and certainty. A woman doesn't want to feel stifled, micromanaged. She wants to feel like she's with a man who understands when to lead and when to follow. It's that combination of leading and being open that produces the dynamic that keeps her interested. Weak men let her lead because they think that will make her happy, but what it does is put her in a position she doesn't want to be in. She will not say that openly, but the minute you give her the leadership of the relationship, you will see how the attraction slips away from her over time. She may begin to come up with reasons for not seeing you, or she may even become cold. What she's really looking for is a man who knows how to lead. A leader does not require reassurance on a consistent basis. He doesn't doubt himself because he knows his value. You will be the kind of man she cannot say no to. Leadership isn't merely about decision-making. It is about embodying strength, stability, and certainty. It's about allowing her to feel comfortable enough to let her guard down and trust you 100%. Number 8. Logic is not going to convince them. Women are not attracted to logic in the realm of relationships. Women often assume that if a man would simply listen to and respect her needs, he would not resort to infidelity. But attraction doesn't operate in that manner. Attraction is not a debate that you win. It's a feeling. If you are using facts to convince her to be with you, you have already lost her. Women don't fall in love with pros and cons lists. They don't give a damn if you have a safe job, a nice car, and a 5-year plan if you can't make them feel something. Attraction is a heart game, not a head game. When a woman is drawn to you, that's the result of her emotional response to you, not because of some calculation she made that you're by far the most sensible choice. For them to beat in the game of the heart, you see, this and men who use logic wins frustrates because they are playing the game wrong. The guys who get on with women know logic has its uses, but is not the secret ingredient to attraction. You're going to get rejected or friend-zoned if you're trying to logic your way into her heart. They want excitement, passion, and intrigue. They want a guy who can take them on an emotional roller coaster, not one who tells them why he is a good catch. Don't convince her why she should be with you. Stop arguing like in a courtroom. She's not evaluating your case. She's reacting to your presence. She will not give a damn about your job title and your reasoning once in a while if you are capable of creating the moments that would literally make her heart race. What she will care about is the way she feels when she is around you. That doesn't mean that logic is of no use in relationships. That is a process, I believe, that is critical to making decisions, solving problems, and establishing a stable future. But if you want to spark attraction, logic is the last thing you should use. Women aren't sitting there, analyzing whether you meet all their criteria. They're feeling their way through things. If she's not feeling it, any amount of logic won't convince her. Consider the guys who have it all but who get rejected anyway. They might have a great job and good looks and a solid plan, but if they can't create emotional tension, then they fail. On the other end of the spectrum, you've got men who don't have a whole lot, but know how to create that emotional connection and keep a woman's attention. It's not what you have, it's how you make her feel. The guys who get it, get that attraction, happens through feeling good and bad emotionally. They know what makes for a moment of surprise, play, challenge, etc. Women do not want men who are boring. They want men who make them feel like they do not have a handling, who are mysterious, who can engage their feelings. Emotional engagement is not a game. It is how a real man begins to learn about the nature and balance of excitement versus security. The man that stimulates her desire for adventure and yet also provides stability is the man she never wants to lose. Logic is just not going to give her that thrill. Logic is just not going to make her heart race, but creating moments of tension, playfulness, and vulnerability will. Start believing its outcomes are steering your boat. So take her out of the routine and take her out on a date with no warning. Do the small gestures and the unexpected differences. Tease her with other things, respect her and laugh with her. Make her feel alive. That's what draws her back again and again. Men who have learned this delicate balance know how to retain women long term. Logically, 1 + 1 = 2. But they don't get complacent, and they don't depend on logic to sustain the relationship. They understand that women want emotions, and they know how to provide them. If you can get this down right, you will never struggle with attraction again. 9. Emotional control is the thing with women. Either way, they make men emotional testers. Sorry, but when she's upset and frustrated and testing you, she's looking for your reaction, and if you cave in to her emotional meltdown, you just flunked the test. But if you stay cool and calm and non-reactionary, then she is going to gravitate to you more. It's not a conscious process for her, it's embedded deep in her biology. Women evolved to desire men who can maintain calm amid chaos. Calmness is a signal of strength. A man who has command of his own emotions can be trusted to lead, protect, and remain firmly rooted regardless of what storms may come. This is where the average man fails. Too many men are confused and think the way to a woman's heart is to respond emotionally the same way she does. When she's emotional, she doesn't want you to fall apart along with her. She doesn't want you to match her panic or anger. What she needs, even if she can't express it, is for you to be her rock. She wants reassurance that no matter how charged up her feelings become, you won't lose your cool. That is where real attraction occurs, in your ability to become the man who does not falter on pressure. This might be when a woman challenges your patience, when she argues over something petty, when she pokes the bear to provoke an emotional response. Weak men defend, attack, or attempt to make a point, while strong men remain calm and allow her emotional tempest to dissolve. It does not mean that you allow her to walk all over you. It means that you respond to the situation in firm and clear terms, not in an emotional tantrum. When you keep your cool, you teach her that you are a man who can handle more than just her emotions, that you can handle life. It's not to become cold and distant. It's to become in control of yourself. The emotions of weak men are constantly at their limit. When not maintained and held well, they leap to reactions that ultimately cause shame and regret. They speak when they should be quiet, act in haste, or allow envy to overwhelm them. And if a woman knows you're a little emotionally impaired, she just loses respect for you. But a guy who doesn't get ruffled when she's really squeezing the toothpaste from the bottom earns her trust and respect. One of the most crucial tests a woman will ever put you through is how you deal with rejection, quarrel, or failure. When things don't go your way, do you sulk, throw a tantrum, or blame others? Or do you roll with the punches and figure it out? Women pay attention to these things because they show you're a man of real character. If you fly off the handle at the slightest inconvenience, she'll view you as inconsistent. But if you keep your head, you will differentiate yourself from the sea of men who cannot manage their emotions. Another emotion that ruins attraction is jealousy. Women are inherently social animals, and if you allow it to own you, they will talk to other men the rest of their lives. If you become possessive and insecure and start grilling the girl on every single interaction she has, you'll look weak. Women don't want a guy who spends his time stressing over the competition. The women want a guy who understands that his value speaks for itself. You don't need to control her or call her 30 times a day when you're comfortable in your own skin. If she does betray that trust, then there will be consequences, and she'll respect you more when you give her space and trust her to make decisions. You're the kind of man who doesn't stay. Men who can control their emotions are few, and their scarcity makes them desirable. It's easy to respond without thought. It's much harder to maintain composure and rationality during a moment of intense emotion. But the guys who have honed this skill are the ones women desire. They're men who make women safe, not because they're physically fearsome, but because they're emotionally unflinchable. Discipline is also related to control over emotion. He who can control his temper can control his life. Women instinctively know that a man who doesn't get ruffled when things go wrong can achieve great things. When they come across a man who can weather the storm without shattering himself, they gravitate toward him because he embodies normalcy in a chaotic universe. The first step to mastering attraction is mastering yourself. Be less emotional about everything, so learn to take a moment, formulate a thought, think, and then speak. Women don't fall for great guys. They fall for guys who can stay true when life turns upside down. The man who is able to keep his cool while handling her emotions will always have the power in the relationship. Number 10. They relish mystery. The antidote to predictability is mystery. Women are biologically wired to be interested in guys that make them feel like they have to compete to earn your attention, guys that give the vibe of mystery. When you are too familiar, too predictable, or too available, she loses interest. Mystery isn't about mind games or deception. It's about living a life interesting enough that she's constantly wanting to know more about you. It's about being the guy who doesn't give away the slightest little thing all at once. The guy who makes her crave him more after each and every encounter. Men who overshare and overcommunicate and give out all their secrets too soon kill the fire. Yes, women want to have details of your life over the few first weeks of dating, but over the years they want to uncover you like an onion, wee bit at a time. But when you give away the whole store too quickly, you rob us of the thrill of discovery, and with it, the pleasure of being around you. Mystery does not mean being distant or aloof, but rather ensuring an element of surprise and unpredictability. It's the opportunity to be the man who breaks her heart, who pushes her to the limit, who isn't who she thinks he is. She stays engaged when you keep her guessing. Then she wonders what you will say next, what you will do next, and where the relationship is going. That feeling of suspense keeps her emotionally engaged. One of the simplest means of creating intrigue is to have a life beyond her. The mistake that far too many men make when it comes to dating a woman is dropping everything the moment they start dating. They cancel plans, stop seeing friends, and turn her into the center of their universe. But when you act like this, you give up the very thing that made her attracted to you in the first place, your uniqueness. Women love men with a purpose, passion, and ambition. In this way, when you live a life full of things that matter, you will make her question continually what you are up to and how she can get into your world. Another big secret to staying mysterious is limiting your communication. You don't want to be the guy who's constantly texting or calling her throughout the day. Give her space to miss you. When you make yourself too available, you become predictable, and predictability breeds boredom. Instead, prioritize quality over quantity. Leave the interaction with something that she remembers you by, so she thinks about you while you're not around. He is a man of depth, and that adds mystery. Have something going on besides trying to impress her. When you truly love your life, it shows. Women like men who are motivated by a purpose greater than themselves. They want to be part of your journey, but they also want to feel like they're not the only thing you're living for. When you have your own mission, you create an air of mystery because she knows there's more to you than what meets the eye. The men women leave are those who become predictable, routine. They message at the same time every day, plan unimaginative dates, and disclose everything without inhibition. But the ones who keep women hooked are the men who are still a little unpredictable, a little mysterious, and a lot of interesting. These are the men who know when to be intimate and distant, when to be familiar and surprising. Mystery is not the same as playing hard to get or being emotionally unavailable. It means being the kind of layered person that she can't peel back all at once. It means having some parts of your life to yourself, not because you have something to hide, but because you know the power of mystery. And keeping that air of mystery, she will always be curious about you, always wanting to know more. And as long as she wants to learn more from us, she cares. The dude who knows how to be mysterious will have chicks chasing after him just to discover who the hell he is. And that is what attracts women, keeps her interested, attracted, engaged, and emotionally involved. If you get these principles down, you won't ever be surprised with sudden breakups, ghosting, or disrespect ever again. The truth is brutal, but it's also freeing. Women don't leave men they admire. They leave men who stop being the man they fell in love with. Do tell in the comments, I have the key below. And tell me, what spoke most to you? Subscribe and spread the word to the guys in your life who most need this message. Subscribing, you help YouTube push this content to others, and together we can help change how men see relationships.